Michael, just on the run at the moment, how tough is it as a manager having to deal with this?
Yeah, tough, because I think since you can go back to January last year, we've been on an amazing run as a club, and then we've hit a bit of form that we're all frustrated by. You can feel that. I'm frustrated, the players are frustrated, the fans are frustrated. There's no doubt, but I think the points on the board at the minute are good. We just need to get back into turning the league form into where we want it to be. Coupled in that, going out the cups is not ideal either. But yeah, we need to turn the form around, and we can do that, and we're working hard to do that. And I always said, I think at the start of the season, I think you find out where you are in January, at the end of January, and that's probably where it's getting to be. We've got a couple of big important games coming up, but we started the season well, and I think we definitely raised expectations, if you like, in terms of the end of last season and the start. We all have aspirations to do that, but then I think sometimes if we'd have started the season badly and then hit form now, it might feel a bit different. But we've definitely got to work hard to change the form in the league we're in, and we feel like we can do that. And that starts with another big game against a team that's trying to fight at the bottom at the moment in the league.
How much are you thinking of tinkering or changing with your style of play or the way you play, or has that not crossed your mind?
I think we're always tinkering and changing. I think we're always trying to be adaptable. But if you go too far with the style of play, then what you've been working on and the processes that we've had working in this league for a long time that's got success, then we're going away from something. So I think every game, every setup, every individual that we play, we're always tinkering with it, because I don't think I'm just a plan A coach and nothing more. So we always try and find a plan B as much as we can. But it's a challenge, and I think the reality is you only have to look at Peterborough this year, how hard they're finding this league, where they were in the playoffs last year. So I think the level of the league is definitely improved. Every game is a really tough game, and I think we're feeling that as a club as much as any other clubs in this league. So yeah, it's definitely a challenge, and we want to keep improving. But we do feel like we've created chances. I think in the last couple of games we've created chances, and it's for us at the top end of the pitch, and we feel like we're solid enough in the back and in the middle of midfield, and we've just got to be better in finishing off when we do. And that's the frustration bit, because goals change games. That's the reality. If you go 1-0 up in games, it changes. And I think at the start of the season, we were definitely getting in front a lot quicker. And when we do go in front, we generally see out those games.
With the regards to the strikers, we've talked a lot about them in recent weeks because of the goal scoring record. I'm sure you see in training them putting the ball in the back of the net. How do you psychologically change their mindset to go from being out here on a Thursday or a Friday to being on the pitch in League One on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, I think scoring is the hardest part of the game. And if every player could score goals, we'd all be playing in the Premier League and on a very big club. So, but we're trying. We're trying every day to improve. But sometimes, we can get to the situation where we feel quite tense in front of goal and we snatch at things. And that's the lads' experience and calmness and being comfortable in those situations. So sometimes, the situation probably we find ourselves in, we're trying too hard in front of goal. Not that we're not trying. And then what happens is we can, not hit the target enough, and that's the reality. We need to just calm down in front of goal and relax a little bit and make sure that we show our quality that we have at the start of the season to finish things off.
Yeah, Jack Marriott after the game on Tuesday put his hands up and admitted that he hadn't been good enough, especially on Tuesday night with his finishing. Is there a balance between getting him to make that right decision but also not discouraging him from doing like he did on Tuesday and having shots at goal?
Yeah, Jack's fantastic. He's been fantastic this season, and all the guys are the same. They know, it's brilliant that they have the maturity and they can come out and say that. But Jack creates 6 chances sometimes in a game. So I think if we had the whole player here at Lincoln, they wouldn't be here. They'd be in the Premier League. That's what it is. So Jack's got loads of development to go, and Jack creates lots of opportunities. And now can he create those opportunities into scoring moments, and can he keep calm in those moments? But you're right. But they're as frustrated. They care as much as we care, and as the fans care, and as the club cares. They care. And I think I wouldn't have anyone in the building in this football club if they didn't care. And the guys really do care. So I know it's frustrating at the minute, because we went on a really good run at the start of the season in the league form, and then we've hit some not so good form. But it's not through care. It's not through trying. It's through probably over trying and being frustrated. And we need the fans. We need the fans to get behind us. There's no doubt. We need to be one club. The club is one club. Everybody in the club knows where we're trying to fix and knows what we need to try and improve on. But we need everybody, and that's important.
Transfer-wise, where are we at? Is there any movement since Tuesday?
A little bit of movement. There's definitely, again, high on the list. I don't think I've shied away that I would like some experience up top. And again, for that reason, like all the good young strikers in the building, they are young and they're inexperienced. I'd like an experienced striker in the building if we can get one over the line. But the nature of January is, again, they're very expensive, very, very expensive. Everybody's after the same, or you have to pay big money for transferring someone in and buying someone in. So we are definitely, that's our first target, if you like. Probably won't be the first one in the building because we still want to improve in certain areas as well and add quality and add depth and maybe add experience in some other areas. But the first target is definitely to get a bit more experience on the top line to help the group. And then we want to improve in a couple of other areas. But I think you'll see a couple new faces in the building over the next few days. But it might not be a striker. That's probably going to come later down the line. But we're trying really, really hard to get the right one that we think can improve us.
And when you talk about that experienced players coming in, especially on the front line, is that with a short-term sticking plaster for this season, or is it thinking ahead that you're going to need them for the long term?
It's for the short term. I think the situation was like what we tried to do in the summer, and it is football, and this is what happens. Is we knew we'd had some young players coming up and developing. We've brought Bailey in, who's done fantastic, but he's still learning his trade. He's here to learn his trade, and he's looked good in the games he's played in. And Tyler was hopefully by now going to lead the line, but the situation with Tyler as our marquee older striker, 27, and obviously Halsey, those two. We've obviously lost Tyler, and that's going to be a real challenge for him to get going. So it's someone to replace Tyler, if you like. And that's the ambition, really. How do we get a bit more of an older head along with Halsey in there to help the youngsters and help the young ones when they can, who are leading the line at the moment.
When it comes to the injury situation, George Wickens, how's he getting on?
Yeah, George is still out for a couple of weeks. His shoulder's repairing well. He's working really hard in the gym. But again, that's one for us to keep assessing and keep looking at. But he's definitely a few weeks off, 2-3 weeks off minimum to be back with us.
And on the shoulder front, Paudie O'Connor, how difficult is that situation to manage? And does that become easier when you don't have those midweek games and you're knowing that you've only got Lewis Monsper for one of the 2 games in 4 days?
You bang on. Like the game after game after game makes it even more of a challenge for Paudie, who I think has been an absolute warrior for us. I keep saying that, shoulders popping out and he keeps playing, and it's been a challenge for him when he's had to go again when we could have rested him, but we haven't. But now there's this week, like after this week, 1 game for the week, that definitely helps him repair that and gets that sorted out. And every game, every day, he's feeling better. There's no problems there.
And finally on Northampton, Kevin Nolan not been in too long. What are you expecting from them?
Yeah, changed the way they play. Very different to when we played them at home. We had a good game against them at home, but they're going to be a completely different side. And I think this league is completely different teams playing different ways. And Kevin Nolan's got experience at all different levels. He's got them set up well. He's took a point at Stevenage in the last couple of games ago, and he's beat Burton 1-0 away. So they're very different in how they want to play, and got some real big threats and quite direct with Eves up front and people around him. So you have to be on it, and I think that's the challenge of this league. Like, if you can get caught, if you don't have the performances, and we feel like we're having the performances, not maybe consistently over 90, but we feel like we're having the performances to score goals, and we've not took those chances, and that's what's really hurting us.